Now we're going to move on to a team that is very unfamiliar. In fact, I have in my entire time watching the NBA since I was 4 years old, never seen them in the playoffs. But here they are now, the third seed in the West. And they've shown that they can play with anybody. But can they win a playoff series against the defending champs? Here's what I will say.
Mike Brown wants it, bro.
I mean, he wants it. And I think Mike Brown, as a coach, is one of the best people to scheme up a game plan to stop the Warriors. But here's just to say this, I just want to share a little bit about the Kings. We all know who they are, but maybe you don't. The Kings have the best offense in the NBA, bar none. De'Aaron Fox is turning into a borderline superstar. I think personally he's just as good as Ja Morant, but doesn't get the hype because he plays in Sacramento.
I'm not gonna lie.
Sabonis is what? Do you want to?
No, I don't disagree. I'm just saying both are pretty overrated. So
what do you mean both are pretty overrated?
Every NBA player is overrated. Nobody's good. Only role players are underrated.
Every point guard besides Stephen Curry is pretty bad.
You're not wrong.
You just need Marcus Smart. All you need is Marcus Smart, and you can make the finals. That's all.
You mean Drew Holiday?
I guess they're like the same player.
Kassan Wallace.
Is that how you pronounce it? Kassan?
That's how I've been pronouncing it.
It's not Kassan?
I think it's Kassan Wallace.
Okay.
But I mean, anyway, the Kings, right? The concern has been defense. They're the 19th ranked team defensively in terms of efficiency. But really, that hasn't seemed to be much of an issue for them when you're scoring 120 points a game. I assume it wouldn't be. And their arena, I don't know how many Kings games you guys have watched, but their arena is electric, man. Those fans, that one ceiling, who was it against the Jazz?
Yeah, Herder.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Regular season, that's crazy.
But here's what I want to ask you guys. Because we know Fox is going to do his thing, and we know Sabonis is going to do his thing. Sabonis has. And I feel like Fox is the type of player, those guys like Ja and like Fox, I feel like it's hard for them to go cold in the playoffs. You know what I mean? The type of game that they play. No, I just feel like those super athletic, when was the last time, when John Wall had his first playoff appearance? You remember that being disappointing? Or Ja Morant?
I know he had a good couple playoffs.
He had a good couple.
Or Ja Morant, when he first played in the playoffs, he wasn't averaging 30.
Yeah, he was. Ja Morant?
In his first playoff
appearance? Yes, he was. Against the Utah Jazz?
Against
Utah Jazz, he actually was.
Oh, that's right. He was. He had 40 that one. So he was going off. And I just think I feel like shooting is the first thing to fall off when you feel like pressure and you feel like you're going cold. Yeah. But when you're athletic like that and you can get to the basket and get to the free throw line, you can get yourself in a rhythm. Yeah. I mean, that's something I saw from Jordan Poole last year where he didn't shoot as much to start a game and started driving to the basket more. And then as he got into a flow, he would shoot. But here's what I want to ask. How much faith do you guys have in the Kings role players? Because they're very young. They're very inexperienced. Kevin Herter and Sabonis might be the most experienced in terms of playoff experience on that team. So
Harrison Barnes.
That's right. Harrison Barnes.
Some crappy experience, but
what a title, bro.
That's when you think of Harrison Barnes, you only think of 2016. As I understand they won a title.
He's average NBA player, bro. He's good at everything, but he's not perfect.
Mavericks Harrison Barnes.
I feel like you're just a hater.
That wasn't real, bro. Okay, but I'm gonna go ahead and start. Okay. The whole reason that the Kings are the 3 seed is because of everything they did in the offseason. Because we've seen for years what Fox is. We've seen what Sabonis is. And even that little time where Sabonis and Fox played post-trade deadline last year, they played good, but overall the team still stunk. I mean, they were still a negative record post the trade deadline. Their role players got them to the 3 seed, but now it is up to the stars to really fully elevate them. I think the role players in Sacramento have played as good as they can. They can't really play that much better. We don't really see how much higher of a ceiling does Kevin Herter have? Maybe Keegan Murray has a little bit. Harrison Barnes, Bleak Monk, they've been playing amazing, but it's time for the stars. So I fully trust. Kevin Herter has been a pretty good playoff performer. Just so far with the Hawks, they had that one run. It's just one run, but it's a pretty compared to his bad games. It's a pretty good sample size. You got Harrison Barnes. Keegan Murray is just a guy who I don't think his shot will fall off. But it's really just up to the stars.
Yeah.
I think Sacramento is really reliant on that 3-point shot from their role players, like a Kevin Herter or Harrison Barnes.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the greatest shooters to ever play the game turn into us in the playoffs sometimes, bro.
Yeah.
It's a different atmosphere out there. If they can keep that hot shooting up, I believe that they can do whatever. But I think it's the playoffs, bro. Your stars will win you games. They'll go far if Sabonis and Fox play better than how they played in the regular season. They still played amazing, but they got to play even better, and they'll go.
You have to match KD. You have to match. Well, in this series specifically, Stephen Curry. You don't have to match him, but you got to keep up.
I think the key is Sabonis too, bro. Like, because Sabonis is like really passive. That's how he gets a lot of assists, right? From those shooters just getting wide open shots. But if those shooters aren't hitting their shit, at some point Sabonis got to be like, I gotta score, bro. Because like, is Looney gonna stop Sabonis?
No, but personally,
is Draymond gonna stop Sabonis?
Here's what I think.
Like, he's too big, too strong to get stopped by those guys.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Me and you had this conversation earlier. Here's what I think would happen with Draymond. I don't think, in the same way he didn't stop Jokic last year, because Jokic did his thing. Jokic got his 30 points. He got his 14 rebounds. He averaged less assists.
Honestly, it's really similar to that Nuggets series.
It is.
Except I feel like...
But except you got
more help.
Yeah. It's like if Jokic had Jamal.
Yeah.
In a sense.
And like a bunch of shooters.
Yeah. But the way I look at it, Draymond forced... What?
I was just gonna say, don't compare the Nuggets with Jamal Murray and MPJ to Sacramento. They're way better than Nuggets.
I didn't say with MPJ. I just said with Jamal.
Just Jamal? I mean,
I
guess.
Too.
Yeah. I don't know.
Don't worry, I'm not bringing MAGA PJ into this. But anyway,
greatest nickname.
I feel like what Draymond does defensively against bigs is he pressures them into turnovers, right? Jokic averaged 5 turnovers a game last year against the Warriors. In the last 3 games, he averaged almost 6. Or no, he did average 6 turnovers a game. And he averaged less assists than he normally does, which could have been a product of him trying to score more. But I do think Draymond has the length to limit Sabonis' playmaking and also make him turn the ball over. But bigs always just get a bunch of rebounds against the Warriors. It's just part of life. You know, it's just how it goes.
I think a big part of them. I think honestly, like they could come out the gates and win the first 2 games at home versus the Warriors. If they could do that, they could fully well do that. But also, I just think of it, bro. Who's chasing Curry and Clay around these screens all game? Like, who is doing that?
Probably Davion.
It has to be Davion, but Davion's offense is so bad.
You can't play Davion Mitchell 36 minutes in the playoffs.
You can't.
You can't even play him 10. In my I'm sorry, he's really bad offensively. He's a liability.
I mean, Malik Monk is solid enough to keep up with him.
Yeah, but he's not a good defender.
Kevin Huerter has the length, so that he can probably sag off a little bit and he can kind of get there, but he can't keep up. That keeping up is the main issue.
I think their defense is a big issue, but.
And
offense is the key of today's game. So, I mean, we saw the Rockets a couple years ago, and they looked like they were going to beat the Warriors until their shooting ran dry.
Yeah.
So I mean, you never know what teams that rely on the 3.
Shooting is a fickle thing.
It is.
But here's what I want to ask too. Since you brought up how they match up with Curry and Clay, how do you think Sacramento's duo matches up with the other groups of stars in the West?
So what? Okay, let's start. Jokic and Jamal.
Jokic and Jamal. I think you take.
I'm taking JJJ and Ja.
Yeah.
And
it's not
okay.
I'm taking
yes. Yes.
Why are you blaming?
Yes.
I said okay.
Yes.
I said okay.
I'm
not that much.
I'm taking KD and Booker. I'm taking KD and Booker. I'm taking Kawhi and PG.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking
Steph. What is the dude? Is it Dre? Stephen Dre?
I think
Stephen Wiggins.
Stephen Draymond.
Steph and B.
I'm taking Steph.
Steph and anyone else.
I'm taking LeBron and AD.
Okay.
Do you take Cat and Gobert? I mean, not Cat. Cat and Ant. Do you take Cat and Ant?
I'm taking Fox and Sabonis over Cat and Ant.
I like Ant over Fox, but Cat needs to show me more, man. He's been pretty bad.
Fox this year though has been better than Ant.
That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Because
Cat went out and Ant carried them to the playoffs.
I think offensively they've been the same, and Ant's an elite on-ball defender. So no, I don't.
I personally take Ant.
I mean,
when D'Lo wasn't there, or when D'Lo got hurt, Ant could be was like a 6 assist guy. He could really play make.
He missed 2 games with the Bulls.
Hey, in those 2 games he spazzed, I guess, because that's what I saw.
Hey, and then you reach the point where you're at the Pels, where it's Bi and McCollum. I don't know how much I like. I like Bi. I like Bi a lot.
But Zion is
obviously.
Zion,
obviously you're taking Bi.
I'm taking Bi and Zion,
but so it would be Trey. I don't care. It's Bi and Trey.
Are we really ranking them? It's just crazy. I'm not saying it's
have
wrong.
A good.
It matters though.
They have a good team. Their all stars are all stars, but they have a team.
Yeah, if they're gonna win, it's gonna be because of their team. It's not gonna be because Fox.
And I don't know how many times we've seen a good team like that go far in the playoffs.
But can they get past the first? Maybe not.
A good team. What was the last the Spurs?
I feel like so. Who was the Celtics in 18 when Kyrie was out?
Yeah.
Wait, if you're just saying team and you're saying Fox is just, I'd say the Hawks 2 years ago.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but they had Trey, and the way Trey was playing, he was playing like a superstar.
Yeah,
point.
I mean that's true.
I think when you reach the Thunder, it's like Shane. Yeah,
Actually, I can't even say it was a good team. They started Solomon Hill.
I mean, I'm just trying
it was Trey. Never mind. It was him and
it's just
Bowie,
like their duo doesn't rank high amongst the West.
Yeah,
but their team ranks higher than a lot of teams.
Yeah, like their supporting cast is, in my opinion, might be better. Like just 3 through 15, probably better than the Nuggets, in my opinion. I mean, outside like
no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Like MPJ and AG, sure, but like everyone else on the bench,
not wrong.
it's like Bruce Brown's their sixth man.
Jokic moves the needle.
Dude, yeah, that Nuggets bench is horrid, bro.
It really. I mean, I think they have the worst net rating in the league without Jokic on the court, and the best in the league with him on the court.
We have future All-Star Thomas Bryant. No,
I don't know why he ever requested.
Look, I don't like his fans said that. I just wanted to say.
Disgusting.
God, bro.
All right,
disgusting.
All right. Here, last question with the Kings. Do you guys think this season would be a disappointment if the Kings don't win a playoff
Absolutely
series?
not. Absolutely.
No.
They built a foundation. They have a culture now.
Some people would say that if you don't win it all, it's a disappointing season.
Can you just answer the goddamn question?
Some people would say that, and it's not a crazy thing to
that's
say.
The pressure of certain
but I would say
Sacramento's different. They never
you know what?
Shit. They don't got pressure.
I'm going to say yes, it would be disappointing, and the reason is how much do you really build on this? Like, what is the ceiling of a team that has Fox and Sabonis? Like, what do they do after this?
You
if
have
they
a
lose?
culture now. I don't really
So what? They just run it back? Do they get just some above average like starter above Harrison Barnes?
Because like before this, who the fuck wanted to go to the Kings?
Do people want to go now?
I mean, like you look at the fan base there, and if a player like a Jaylen Brown was
they have money for it.
I'm just making a hypothetical, bro. They can. You tell me the Kings don't have the assets to make a Jaylen Brown trade happen?
They do, but do you sacrifice that core that you've built to just go get?
No, I'm just saying a player like that.
They don't.
I'm saying a player like that.
Well, are you saying like trade Keegan Murray? Would he be like the main part of this trade?
Keegan Murray. You can throw in Davion. You can throw in.
Just giving up a lot there. I mean,
Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdon, Derek White, and Davion Mitchell is so nasty.
We'll see what happens, bro. But I'm just saying, it makes it a more attractive destination than it was 3 years ago, where it was like the depths of the NBA hell.
It does.
I'm going to agree with you on this. I think it is a disappointing season. And the reason I say that is because I look to the New York Knicks in 2021, right? You would have said the same thing about them. You know, this team has sucked for a long time, and now they're in the playoffs. They're competitive. They've got Julius Randle, who's a great player. And obviously this year they're good again, right? But that doesn't come just naturally with the team as it was already built. The team as it was already built failed last year, right? And so
I think it was an off year, but
they needed to add that other piece, and you don't necessarily always get that other piece, right? They got lucky with Jalen Brunson because the Mavericks happened to let him go. Like the Mavericks didn't want to retain.
Was it lucky or was it smart?
No,
I think it's lucky. I think
were they smart with
it's
Jalen?
50% on everything in the NBA.
His dad's on the Knicks. His dad's on the Knicks.
We got receipts. We have our literally preseason pod where Oliver's saying that Jalen Brunson contract was horrible.
Yeah, I did, and I was
all
wrong.
of us said that.
But I said Brunson moves the needle a little bit. Because I was saying all they were missing is a point guard. That was the only thing that they were missing.
If at the time, hindsight's 2020, whatever. But at the time, if we thought it was a bad contract, was it smart? Was it dumb of the Mavs to let him go? Because we're like, that's a horrible contract. Why would the Mavs pay him that much?
I'm not saying it's dumb of the Mavs. I'm saying it's a little bit of luck that gets involved in that the Mavs didn't retain him and that the Knicks paid him and that the Knicks also have him on a contract that reduces year by year so that they can go out and get another player in 2 years.
Yeah.
That was a really smart contract.
It's a really, looking back on it, it's a really smart contract. It looked bad at the time and we were wrong. Yeah. But anyway, I think when you have a team that is built like this, because there's also, you can put all the same pieces in the same place and they cannot work together in the same way. You get a certain energy going at the beginning of the year. You get a certain feel with the team. They got a new coach who's probably infusing them with energy. When you have that going, you can't just sit back and be like, hey, we haven't made the playoffs in 16 years. We got to be satisfied with this. You got to go out and you got to capitalize on what you have now because you don't know if you're going to get it again. You don't know if you're going to get that exact mixture that works again. And they have a chance as the third seed with one of the better better road records in the league.
Yeah, I was about to say home's not that good.
No, home's not good, but they have one of the best road records in the league. And they can go out and take a couple games on the road from some good teams. And they have the ability to compete with anyone in the West, I feel. So for me, I think it would be a disappointment if you waste that and not win at least one playoff series.
You're right. I just think their first round matchup's so hard. Like if they played the Clippers,
then they can
without
maybe
PG,
win.
I think they could take down a Clippers team without PG.
Mm-hmm.
But just I don't know.
Well, PG should be coming back, I think.
We'll
so according to the original timetable that was given, he should be coming back or healthy Wednesday. And he's given until what? Saturday. Is that when the playoffs start?
Yeah.
So I mean, I think he'll be back. But yeah, I pretty much agree with everything you said. Also, the similarity with the Knicks that year and the Kings now is besides the defense of the Knicks was good, but it was 3-point shooting, and we clearly saw in the playoffs that the 3-point shooting was not. It just didn't translate.
That Knicks team was more reliant on its defense, whereas this
more reliant on its offense.
Kings team is the offense. So it's like the opposite sides direction. We'll see what happens with the Kings. It should be cool.
Wait.
It'll be a fun
Good
series.
storyline.